Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is Monday. It is 9 o'clock, which means it's time for a 5x5. If you've never seen a 5x5 before, the idea is very simple. I talk about 5 different things to do with magic. I give myself 5 minutes to talk about each topic. I have a countdown at the bottom of the screen. When the countdown reaches 0, I move on to the next topic. So the idea is it's nice and quick, nice and snappy, and every week we're basically talking about something different. Now, I'm going to start off the first 5-minute segment today. I want to talk about Ryland again. A lot of you know Ryland, obviously. He's on the review show with me. I've talked about him before a few weeks ago on the festive 5x5. We actually did a little interview with him. A lot of people have been wanting to see a section of his stage show, because I talk about how he performs on stage. A lot of people say, hey, can I see a section of his stage show? He's been performing on stage since he was 4 years old, since he was 3 or 4 years old. And this is from a gig that he did about a year ago now. So he was a lot younger than he is now. And he's performing Colour Match by Pro Mystic, which is just a simply wonderful routine. And he's performing that on stage in front of about 200 or 300 people. So for everybody that's wanted to see a little bit more from Ryland, this is a live performance of Ryland performing Pro Mystic's Colour Match.
To read someone's mind. I'm going to go in the audience and pick a volunteer to come up on stage so I can read their mind. Yeah. Inside this envelope is a prediction of what I think you're going to do. Can you sit on it, please? I've also got a picture of myself. It's quite weird. I'm wearing a top, braces, tie, shorts and socks. In a second, you're going to colour it in. These are the colours you're going to use. You've got red, orange, yellow, green and blue. When I say you're going to pick a pen and tell me when you're done. Done. Colour in the braces. Drop that pen on the floor and pick your next pen. Colour in the socks. And tell me when you're done. Drop that pen on the floor. And pick your next pen. Colour in the tie. Drop that pen on the floor and pick your next pen.
Yes, boss.
Have you picked it?
Yes.
We'll put it back on the pot and shake the pot. And pick your next pen. Right, put that back in the pot and shake it. Pick your next pen.
Yes.
Colour in the shorts. Drop that pen on the floor and pick your next pen.
Okay.
Colour in the top.
Yes, boss.
All right. You coloured in, show the audience, you coloured in yellow top, green tie, red braces, blue shorts, and orange socks. And give me the envelope. They're going to match. I'm going to take this one step further. Hit my music. And someone...
Okay, guys, who here would like some free magic? I'm pretty sure everybody would. If you haven't heard of the name Cameron Francis, you should do. Cameron Francis is an amazing magician. He was one of the first people. I think he was the very first person that I interviewed on Talk Magic, so you can go back and check that out. I've been a big fan of Cameron's his entire career. And one of the DVDs that he actually produced very early on was for Big Blind Media, and it was called the Omega Trilogy, which is like a 3 DVD set. Absolutely amazing. It's still available now. Anyway, I realized the other day, one of my favorite tricks off the Omega Trilogy, you can actually get for free in 2 different places. First of all, it's available as a download for free on Penguin Magic. You just go on Penguin Magic, you put it in your cart, you go through the checkout. It doesn't cost you anything. It'll appear straight in your downloads. Also, it's the same with Big Blind Media. If you sign up for Big Blind Media's mailing list, which you should do, by the way, because they're awesome, you actually get a link to, you can actually have Cameron Francis's Cagey for free. Cagey is an amazing trick. I can't believe they're giving it away free. If you've not seen it, I'm going to perform it for you right now. Okay, so I've got a pack of cards here, and I've got Sarah behind the camera. How you doing, Sarah?
Hey.
Hey. Now, this is a shuffle pack and use, so this is like an anytime, anywhere thing. You can get into this anytime you want to. Sarah, have you ever heard of Houdini?
I have.
So I have a card here from a different deck, and it has Houdini written on it. This card represents Houdini, okay?
Yeah.
And Houdini was famous for 2 things. He was famous for doing magic and doing card magic, and also escaping from things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave Houdini here for a minute, and we're going to pick a card. This card's going to represent you, because Houdini always had an assistant. You are going to be Houdini's assistant. So as I go through, which one would you like? One with a lot of...
The 3 there. The
3 of diamonds?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Do you want to change your mind, or are you happy with that one?
No, that's fine.
Cool. So I'm going to... There you go. I'm going to write your name on here. You are going to be Sarah, mainly because that is your name.
Me too.
There you go. And you are now officially going to be Houdini's assistant. Okay?
Yeah.
And we're going to pop you about halfway down in the middle of the deck, as far away from Houdini as we can get. And I want you to remember that we put you into the middle of the deck from the beginning. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Cool stuff. Now, I'm going to do something kind of weird with the Houdini card. You can come up here if you want to, Sarah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the pen and I'm going to draw some lines. Now, you're probably wondering, why am I drawing all these lines? There is a reason. There is a method to my madness. So I said Houdini was famous for 2 things. But one of the things I said Houdini was famous for was escaping from stuff, right? He escaped from milk churns, from handcuffs, from straitjackets, but one of the things that he was most well known for was escaping from jail cells. So can you see I've kind of drawn a bit of a jail cell around Houdini now? Can you see that, yeah? So we're going to try and show you how Houdini would escape from that jail cell. So there he is in that jail cell. We're now going to try and make him escape, okay? And how he does it is he gets the help of his assistants. You remember you were in the middle of the deck here. If I snap my fingers, you see what happens is Houdini escapes, because now you are no longer in the middle of the deck. Now we have Houdini who has escaped from the cell.
Right.
And if he has escaped from the cell, that can only mean one thing. Where he was in the cell, we now have you, and you are now in that cell. And that's how Houdini escapes. So that is Cameron Francis's Cagey. You can get it for free from Big Blind Media or Penguin Magic. Now, very quickly in the last minute, let me tell you why I love this trick. I was very close to putting this into the 3 best tricks with double facers that you've never seen before, because it uses a double facer, but in a very unique way. Most times when you see tricks with double facers, they use a double facer that's different on each side. This actual double facer, he uses one of the ones that are the same on each side. You can get it from any double face pack. It is very easy to do. You just have this card, this Houdini card is in your top pocket or somewhere where you can grab it easily. You bring it out, you do the trick, you put it away, it's instantly reset. It's a regular deck of cards, you don't need a full deck, it happens in the spectator's hand. It's super visual, it's an instant reset. What's not to love? And because of the structure of the routine, this card here, the gaff, is never examined. You never need to examine it. There's no heat on this card at all. But my favorite part of this whole routine is it's a really neat way of doing a transposition, but I love the fact that the spectator's signature actually appears underneath the cell. It's just like their card is changing. It's really good. Go on BBM and download it for free. So one of the things that I try to do on this channel is highlight old routines that you might never have seen before, highlight old DVDs or old projects that you've never seen before. And what I've been doing recently, especially on a 5x5, is talking about older books. And this is apparently, according to the comments, something that you guys are really into and something I want to do more of. So I want to talk to you guys today about somebody called Troy Houser. Now, if you don't know who Troy Houser is, the guy is incredible. Many, many years ago, he bought out Destroyers by I think it was written by Joshua J. And it was an amazing book. I've actually got the original book in my library. I want to highlight to you the remake. The remake, is that the right thing with the book? The reprint, possibly. It's called Destroyers, The Magic of Troy Houser. Now, when this second edition came out, which is by Vanishing Ink, it was again written by Joshua J. He actually bought out a second book at the same time called Moments. And I'm going to be talking about Moments on another video, but you can still get Destroyers and Moments as part of a 2-book package. Vanishing Ink produced this. It's worthwhile checking on the Vanishing Ink website. Anyway, if you haven't heard of Troy Houser, and I'm surprised that so many people haven't heard of Troy, this guy is amazing. Excuse me, this book is absolutely brilliant. Now, there's a few things that I want to highlight to you in this book. But first of all, Joshua J wrote it, which means it is exceptionally written. You can see, if I flip it around, hopefully you can see this. As with any Vanishing Ink book, the illustrations are very, very clear. The writing is very clear. It is a great way to learn magic. But let me highlight a couple of things here for you. Couple of routines I absolutely love. And the first one is what I consider to be probably the #1 commercial close-up trick that's ever been created, and that is Charming Chinese Challenge, which has been released as a standalone product, but you can actually learn it in here. Now, if you don't know what that is, I do it at every gig. I've done it on a Magic Live. The whole idea is that you have a ribbon, you have 3 Chinese coins, everything's examined, the coins are threaded onto the ribbon, and then one at a time, they penetrate off the ribbon. With the final coin, it visibly penetrates off, you visibly throw it back on again, and it ends up disappearing off the ribbon and appearing in the spectator's hand. It is absolutely amazing. It's like taking the best parts of coin magic, and it's like taking the best parts of a ring and string routine and kind of putting it together into one routine. If you haven't seen it, it's worth buying this book just to learn Charming Chinese Challenge. You can get some Chinese coins for a few quid. You can get a ribbon from a haberdashery for next to nothing. And I think as a standalone product, it's like £30. You get it as part of this book. Now, the other thing is, and I've talked about flipper coins on this channel an awful lot, but the other thing that Troy does here, he's one of the few people that have examined the flipper coin in great detail. So there's an in-depth study on the flipper coin, and there you go, an in-depth study on the flipper coin. So he talks about flipper coins, and he talks about different techniques and then different routines you can do with it. He's got like vanishes, hanging coin type things. He's got wild coin style routines. He's got purses, coins going into and coming out of purses. Excuse me. It's a lot more than just a normal sort of flip a coin style routine where the coins jump from one place to another. So it's worth getting just for that. But that's the first section. Coins is the first section. And Troy is known as a coin guy, but he has some amazing card work in here as well. In fact, why have I got this playing card in here? What is the reason? Because of Double Decker Plus. He has a version of Paul Harris's Double Decker, which is just brilliant. Now imagine this as a card plot, because as an opening card routine, this is great. He has a red pack of cards. He takes it out. He shows it's a red deck. He has someone pick a card. They sign it. They put it back in the deck. They put the cards back in the box. And he says that this box actually has more than one deck of cards in it. He then pulls the cards back out again, and now the cards are blue. And their card is turned over in the middle of the deck. And when you turn that card over, it's green backed. I mean, it's probably about a 2-minute routine. And the magic is so strong. It is an awesome opening routine. And that's just one of the routines in there. This is jam-packed full of really strong commercial magic. And I'm very surprised the amount of magicians that I speak to that have never studied Troy Houser's material, or they haven't got his books. If you haven't seen anything by Troy, get Destroyers first of all. Beg, borrow, or steal a copy of this book. It is brilliant, and it had a massive impact on my career. It's the sort of magic I love seeing perform. It's Destroyers, Vanishing Ink, Troy Houser. Get it. So there's a very good chance you've never heard of the name Tom Mullinger or Jester Styles, but he's a magician in the UK. He's based in the Warwickshire area, and he is absolutely amazing. He's very, very good at characterization, and he's created a niche for himself in an area a lot of other magicians don't operate in. Now, I'm going to be doing a full interview with him on Talk Magic very, very soon, but I wanted to give you a sneak peek. Have a look at this. This is a sneak peek of the Tom Mullinger interview that's coming up soon.
If you've got a branded Instagram, this is just my opinion, and I'm going to speak about it with passion, but if you've got a branded Instagram, keep it branded. So I know people that have got their Instagram where they're talking about gigs that they've done, but then they're also tagging in producers of tricks that they've bought. Like, oh, I can't wait to, well, you just told your audience where, like, you can't go and get a standing ovation for turning water into wine on a Saturday, and on Sunday be like, oh, look at this great trick that I bought from Alakazam. Like, you need to have a cutoff point. And also, don't put like back in the gym or here's my dinner. Like, create hype. So use your Instagram as a way of getting your character across. And if you go to the gym a lot, then one of the reasons you may get booked is because people like the fact that you fill a suit well. So put a bit in, but don't put it too personal. Just keep it about your brand. I did it when I first started. I did it too much. I was just trying to put across the character that I wanted to be, and now I use it just as social proof. So I have wedding photos. I have any gigs that I've done. It's great to network with photographers, but you'll never see me like put a photo up of my I don't know, new trick that I've bought, or my car, or going out. Like, just keep in mind the story you're trying to tell with all your social media, I think, is what I'm trying to say in a weird way.
No, it's true.
So,
and it's a mistake. You know how passionate I am about marketing. It's a mistake I made recently, because when I set this YouTube channel up, originally it was set up under slightly unusual, and I realized very quickly this needs a complete rebrand, because this is just not appropriate for the YouTube channel that my clients are seeing, which is why everything changed over to Magic TV, and it's why we changed everything and rebranded everything for that very reason. Yeah,
it's like when magic shops or card companies will be like and share this status in your story on Instagram and try and win £200 worth of magic. I'm like, no, I don't. I'd rather not have £200 worth of magic and keep some sort of mystery of how I do what I do. So it's just something that I'm passionate about. Most people will just laugh it off, but I like to think that at least for a split second, the character that people are seeing me become has some sort of magical powers or mystery powers. Even if they just think it for a split second and don't go, oh, Infinity Wine, £85 from Alakazam. Just, you don't have to be magic famous. You don't have to be well known to make a very good life for yourself doing something that you enjoy.
And I tell you something, I disagree with the whole luck thing. I think you make your own luck. I think if you were sitting in your living room all day waiting for the phone to ring, then all of this stuff that happened to you because you were lucky wouldn't have happened. all the stuff that happened through luck happened because you were out there busting your ass, telling everyone about Jester Siles, number 13, and building a brand. That's why that happened. It was lucky, but only because of the work that you put in.
Unfortunately, Craig Petty, because my brand is built around luck and I have a show called Origins, which is all about luck, I have to disagree with you there and say that luck is vital. But I do know the point that you're making. Yeah, like you make your own luck, and the harder you work, the luckier you get. But I think the advice, there's the 2 minutes maybe of solid advice that I did give of make the best of every opportunity, and that's it. That's the secret, isn't it? Just go out there and be yourself and have fun. So who knows? Who thought that I'd be here chatting to you about this? I still used to drive home. I used to like they've all stopped, but I would drive home thinking this is my life, and this took a long 5 years. I would say until I was convinced myself that I was doing this. I drive home from a wedding and being like, oh, that went well. Oh, maybe I will be able to do this as a job. And I'm like, hang on, I haven't made any money from anything but magic for 5 years.
So earlier on this episode of 5x5, I told you how you can get Cagey by Cameron Francis for free, and I performed it for you. It's an amazing routine, it really is. And I thought, while we've kind of got a Cameron Francis theme going on 5x5, let's continue the Cameron Francis love and talk about the 3 best products that Cameron Francis has ever released. 3 best products that Cameron Francis has ever released. I've done this a few times now. I've done it with Greg Wilson. I've done it with David Regal. Why not do it with Cameron Francis? Now, if you don't know who Cameron Francis is, first of all, get that download of Cagey for free. Second of all, go check out Talk Magic episode 1. The interview with Cameron is on there. Cameron creates really commercial close-up magic, mainly card magic, but there is a whole bunch of other stuff that he's done over the years as well. But it is always really commercial close-up magic. And it's the sort of stuff that you can go out and gig. And he actually will say he doesn't create routines that are pipe dreams. He creates routines that real workers can go and perform. And I wanted to talk to you about the 3 routines that I think are the best Cameron Francis releases. But first of all, a couple of honourable mentions. First honourable mention is Fresh Mint. This is one of the first routines I ever saw Cameron Francis do. It is a card to impossible location. That impossible location is a tic-tac box. The gimmick just fooled the pants out of me. I remember watching him lecture this live, and I just had no idea how it's done. It is a very commercial way of getting a mercury folded card into an impossible location, and rather than carrying a box around that nobody knows what it is, everyone knows what a tic-tac box is. So that's a really great honourable mention. There's a few other honourable mentions as well. Red Hot Prediction is a great honourable mention. This was a standalone trick that came out quite a while ago now. And Red Hot Prediction is a blue deck of cards, and you end up having the spectator think of a card, and there's 2 cards in the deck with a red back, and they are the cards. Let's say the person thought of the ace of diamonds. The one red back card would have an ace printed on it, and the other one would have a diamond printed on it. It's a very clever method, and that's the thing that kind of personifies Cameron's stuff. It's a very clever method. Now, he hasn't done much coin magic, but the last honourable mention I'm going to talk to you about is Attack of the Copper Silver Coin. He did this in conjunction with Dave Forrest, and he brought it out through Full 52, and it's a collection of routines with a double-faced coin. I'll be honest with you, there's some routines on there that aren't very good, but there's like 13 or 14 routines altogether, and some of them are brilliant. Anyway, let's get into the top 3. So in 3rd position, I mentioned it earlier on when I was talking about Cagey, but we have the Omega Trilogy. Now, this is a 3 DVD set, and it has got so much magic, it's ridiculous. A lot of the magic is card magic, but it is all really commercial stuff. Now, when this DVD set came out, it was kind of really weird because it was all set. They had somebody sitting next to Cameron in a hazmat suit, and he was like meant to be in quarantine in the middle of a zombie infection. It was very, very weird. I don't know what Owen for Big Blind Media was thinking when he put this together, but the magic is so strong on the Omega Trilogy. If you like Cagey, that's just one routine out of about 40 routines on that set, and they're all as good as each other. You can still get it now from Big Blind Media. It's available as a download or a DVD. Omega Trilogy is amazing. Now, in second place, we have Nothing But the Truth. So in second place, we have Nothing But the Truth. This is something we reviewed on a previous Craig and Ryland's Magic Review show. It is one of the best packet tricks you'll ever see. It's a lie detector routine, so you show that you've got these 4 cards, and they can, see all of the backs of the cards, and you ask them to pick a card and remember it. Then you ask them questions about the card. How the routine is structured, they can lie or tell the truth, and the cards will always tell them whether they're lying or telling the truth. And then at the end, you work out what the card is, and then when you flip everything over and you count it out, you show that all of the lie detector cards have changed into the spectator's card. So let's say they pick the Queen of Spades. Spoiler, they will pick the Queen of Spades. They've all changed into the Queen of Spades. It is really, really strong. And then the number one, in my opinion anyway, the number one Cameron Francis trick has to be Rehab. Rehab by Cameron Francis. It is a torn and restored card, a little bit like Guy Hollingworth's Reformation, a little bit like Danny Garcia's torn and restored card, but a lot easier, a lot less angly. If you want to take a signed card and through pure sleight of hand have it ripped up and then restored piece by piece, this is a very commercial way of doing it that's actually workable without having to worry about angles or palming. It is very good. Highly recommend it. So guys, that is another 5x5 in the bag. I hope you enjoyed it. Do me a favour, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment down below as to what you think and what you want to see in future 5x5s. I love reading all of your comments. Like the video if you can, and don't forget I'm going to be back tomorrow with a Talk Magic, and then on Wednesday I'm going to be back on the review show with Ryland. So I'll see you there. Thanks very much for watching. My name's Craig from Magic TV.